Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm Will Bros. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Hayden Bender here.
Gavin McAfee.
John Metzger.
Will Robinson.
All right. Well, obviously, we've got a lot to talk about, actually. Huge week of college football coming up this week. But we're going to look back at last week. We're going to start with a game that we thought was going to be a close one, but was not even close in the Big Ten. Indiana absolutely curb stomping the fuck out of Illinois, 63-10. All of us picked Illinois, so that was a big mistake on our parts. We underestimated Indiana a little bit. We thought they were fraudulent, but no, they might be better than they were last year. So overall, I thought the game was going to be a lot better, and it just proves that Illinois just wasn't as good as we thought we were.
Yeah, I mean, I said that Illinois would win pretty big, so I was wrong there. I was very shocked to watch Indiana absolutely curb stomp them. They destroyed them on both sides of the ball, especially at the line of scrimmage. They had at least 5 sacks, I think, maybe 6. So they absolutely got to the quarterback, put a lot of pressure on him, and just absolutely mind-boggling how they curb stomped him. So.
Yeah, this game was, it was surprising for me, but mainly because I hadn't seen anything, I hadn't really watched any Indiana football yet this year. So that was just a really surprising game because, we all thought Illinois was pretty good. They were obviously ranked pretty high already, so just seeing them just get absolutely dominated was pretty crazy, and I'm excited to watch some more Indiana football and see if they're legit or not.
Shout out Ian Briers.
Yeah, shout out Briers. Big W. I don't know. I thought it was a surprising game, but I'm still a little doubtful on Indiana. They definitely did dominate them, but I also just don't know how good Illinois was. They were highly ranked, but it wasn't like they played anyone insane. They played Duke, I think, on the road. That was probably, their best game that they had played thus far. I thought Illinois was going to win. We all did, but Indiana proved us all wrong, but I still think they need to prove themselves just a little bit more, which is, I think, why they're outside the top 10 still.
Yeah, that's understandable. Illinois did return a lot of production from last year, but I'm guessing that it just wasn't enough talent to compete with Indiana somehow. Mendoza for Indiana, I think he had more touchdown passes than incompletions. It was just really a clinic. And honestly, Indiana just took Illinois to the back shed and just had their way with them. It was just awful. I didn't even need to watch the game. I just look over at my friend's computer, and he was watching the game, and they just had another touchdown on the board in 2 minutes. It was insane. And I don't know. Illinois for them, they got Ohio State later on. They got USC. A season that was hopeful for the playoffs for them, they may just finish unranked now. This is just a huge disappointment for them. And for Indiana, I'm shocked to see how they're doing so far, and let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They got 2 tough games. They play Oregon, and they're also playing Penn State. So it's going to be interesting to see how they finish down the road. Some other good games that we'll cover a couple more, but just briefly. Miami, Florida took care of business against Florida. Florida's defense actually held in a lot more than I thought they would. Made Carson Beck uncomfortable at times. I was not really impressed in Miami's offense. Their defense, though, was really good because we all know DJ Lagway is not as good as we all hoped he would be this year. But, Miami took care of business, and they got a big matchup coming up against Florida State, which I think could be one of the games of the year potentially.
Someone got something?
So is Bender just not the first?
I guess Hayden's not going to say anything. So
yeah, Bender's just not saying anything.
Didn't know I was first every time.
Miami just definitely wasn't as explosive as we've seen them so far on offense. But I think it was just a little bit of a step back. First SEC game. And I think they'll be back. The defense, like Will said, looked really good. So I think they'll. Or sorry, wait, they're not even in the SEC.
Yeah, it's not. It was non-conference.
My fault.
Okay.
But it was still somewhat tough game. I think they'll be fine. I still think they're one of the top teams in college football right now. So.
Yeah, I think Miami's They're ranked second now. I think I said last episode or the one before I got Carson Beck as my Heisman frontrunner now. So he's looking pretty good, and I mean they look pretty good as a team. The fact that game was the game day was at that game was a total joke.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Florida's really not that good. I feel like they disrespected Indiana as well, like we all did. So I think that's a wake up call for that game as well.
Yeah, I think Miami deserves that number 2 ranking after that game. I mean, their offense, I think, didn't struggle, but they did a little bit, and Florida had a chance, honestly, to come back in that game a little bit late in the game, and their defense just stepped up again. That defense answers just about every call they need to answer, and that team is legit. They deserve the 2 spot. I was going to ask Bender, what happened to your previous Heisman frontrunner, Cade Klubnik over there?
All right, first of all, this is off topic, so I don't know why you're talking about it. Second of all, he's decent. The team sucks.
Because he sucks.
All right. About this game, I don't think Florida really ever had a chance. Honestly, their offense is just awful. I think Miami is certainly deserving of a top spot. They've shown that so far. It's more just surprising to me that their defense has just been as good as it is. It's been really dominant for pretty much everyone they've played. I mean, they held Notre Dame in check when they played them as well. So I think that game versus Florida State will really be a measure of if they really are deserving of that number 2 spot or if they're going to be just below that. But I think that will be a great game in a few weeks.
All right. We're going to go over the Michigan game in depth, but let's look over a couple more scores. Missouri took down South Carolina 29-20. Oklahoma took down Auburn 24-17. But the bad news for them is they've lost one of the Heisman frontrunners in John Mateer. And I just want to ask you guys, how big of an impact do you think that is for them? And do you still think they could make the playoffs, even if he misses 2 to 3 games? They think he'll be back either by Texas or Ole Miss, but I just want to get your guys' thoughts on this.
Well, 2 to 3 weeks puts him possibly out against Texas, like you said. I think if he's out for that, it could pose some problems. If he's not playing, I don't think they'll beat Texas. They got Kent State up next, so that's an easy win. But, I mean, if he doesn't get healthy soon, they got a freaking gauntlet of a schedule coming up, so it could be tough. But if he's healthy, they're an easy playoff team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him to start this season. We've seen how good he is, how big of a factor he is for that Oklahoma offense, just keeping plays alive, throwing dimes on the run. So I think if he's missing multiple games, especially that Texas game in a couple weeks, that's going to be a big one. That could pose some issues. But I think even if they maybe drop that Texas game, they have like a little bit of a chance to make the playoffs. But he definitely needs to play in that Texas game.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned with the timeline because it doesn't seem like it's a for sure thing. Which, I mean, if it's not a for sure thing, that gauntlet, as soon as they hit Texas, they pretty much just begin their SEC gauntlet. And honestly, if they drop that Texas game and he's not back, I could see them dropping 1 or 2 more, even because that is a gauntlet. Like, I'm not even expecting them to win all those games, even with Mateer in. So I honestly can see them just falling out of the playoffs because of these losses. And I mean, honestly, that Mateer is basically some of their whole offense, pretty much. They run the ball with him. They throw the ball, obviously, with him. I don't know. I think it'd be a big impact if they don't continue to run the ball and move the ball the way they do with Mateer without him.
Yeah, I think that now is probably the best time it could have happened, honestly, with them having Kent State and then a bye week. But if he isn't healthy for the Texas game and they lose that, and then they're probably going to try and force him to play, so they're going to stay in playoff positioning. But who knows how healthy he'll be when he comes back. It might be a lingering injury. We don't know for sure. But, either way, they've just got so many tough games that it'd be really hard to come back from if they drop the Texas game. And it'll be difficult.
All right, well, last game we'll talk about from last week. Michigan took down Nebraska in a good Big Ten matchup, 30-27. Obviously, in my opinion, I don't think this game should have been as close as it is. I think you saw Michigan absolutely dominated them in the trenches. 286 yards rushing. That's going to win you a lot of football games. Justice Haynes was absolutely unstoppable. Unless, sometimes, he got taken up. But most of the runs I saw, he was either gone to the house or was 50 yards every time, Bryce Underwood played good. You know, he wasn't asked to do much. Obviously, Michigan's a run-first team, so obviously he's not going to put up insane stats. But he played way better than he did against Oklahoma. So, well, Rob, don't even make that face. I'm just speaking facts here.
I'm not
But
impressed yet.
Dylan Raiola played a good game as well. That Hail Mary catch was awesome. That was a great play. So
there's the cheese. The cheese.
This game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, and I think Michigan should have won by a lot more, but somehow Nebraska kept it close.
Yeah, I mean, if you just take away the Hail Mary, that's a 10-point game, so I don't know if that's good enough for you or not. But, yeah, I mean, Michigan just ran the ball all over them. And I will say, I think a good amount of it was because their safety plays were terrible. I've never seen worse plays from safety of all time. They completely missed tackles on straight up the field runs, and, you know, Haynes didn't have to put a juke on them. So they were good plays, although I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that throughout the rest of the season, making – 60, 70-yard gains on the run for touchdowns. So I think we got to be able to sustain longer drives, which I haven't really seen us do. It's really been big plays or nothing for Michigan. So, but I mean, it was a good win on the road, so we'll take that.
Yeah, it was a great win on the road. It was a good environment to play in. I think it was good for Bryce to go into that environment on the road after our loss to Oklahoma and be able to go in there and get a win. Obviously, last week I said we'd win by 3 scores, and I think we were actually a lot closer to that than what the score looked like. We at least had a very good shot to go up 2 scores. We had full momentum, and then our DB decided to give the crowd a couple or 3 pumps to the crowd, and that just sparked a scoring drive for the Cornhuskers. So that didn't help us out, and then obviously that Hail Mary too, but we can play ifs, wins, and buts all day. We only won by 3 points. That was kind of bummer because it seemed like we were absolutely dominating them. But yeah, I thought it was a good little bounce back win for a somewhat decently big game, first Big Ten game of the year. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought, honestly, we should have won by 3 scores. Gavin was honestly pretty right. I mean, our receivers were dropping the ball. Bryce played really good, and then we dropped the ball, and then we just had to go right back to the run game because we couldn't throw. It was not even like Bryce making bad throws at all. I mean, Bryce was literally dotting up the defense at one point. That Donovan McCulley catch, or not catch, but should have almost been a catch, was very impressive. That's like the only spot he could put that ball to. I mean, Samaj Morgan, I think I counted in one drive, might have had like 5 drops. Like, he just could not hang on to the ball. And they were like short little 2-yard routes. Yeah. It's kind of unacceptable, especially when you're trying to win a game and you got to be able to throw the ball. We can't just be one-dimensional like we were last year. But I liked seeing Bryce use his legs, especially in a big environment and a hostile one at that too. We used his legs. He ran the ball. That's like, we need him to do that. We need him to use all of his attributes. But overall, we looked good. Our defense looked really good other than Brendan Hillman having to fuck the crowd because that was necessary. I like to think that he was just signaling a catch, but the refs did not see that the way that I saw it clearly. But it was, yeah. I think right there, if he didn't do that, we go up we win that game by 3 scores easily. That was a momentum killer right there.
Yeah, seeing this game, I think Bryce definitely played better than he did against Oklahoma. A few drops, few unlucky, out of bounds, close stuff, either way. But I'm not impressed yet. I mean, obviously as a freshman, he's not going to, go ballistic, but I think he has room to grow, and I think it will happen. Him running the ball has been nice to see if you're a fan of them. But they are definitely one-dimensional right now. So if they can really go on both sides with the running and passing with him, and then they can be even better. I think that right now, obviously, I think Nebraska is overrated, just like they always are. But it's still a decent win. On the road, it's a tough environment. I think the Wolverines should probably be ranked around, 20-something, right behind Vandy. But, they'll have some more games to boost that up against some cupcakes, so we'll see.
All right. Last thing to add on from last week. A dark horse in the Big 12 made a statement this past Saturday. Texas Tech absolutely put belt to ass against Utah. I think Texas Tech's a scary team, especially in the Big 12. I think they could easily win that conference. I thought Utah was going to be good, but absolutely, Texas Tech just dominated them. So I was surprised at that. Well, Rob, didn't you have Texas Tech winning the Big 12?
I believe I did, yeah.
Okay. Gavin, you obviously want to say something because that expression is not a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game. It was just holding after holding after holding on both teams. Both teams are severely overrated, but I do think Texas Tech is a decent team. Utah was severely overrated. And Texas Tech, I definitely think will make the Big 12 championship game, but they're not winning the whole thing because Brendan Sorsby and the Cats are winning by 90.
Boy.
Per usual. So I got Cincy. Cincy's got the first Big 12 game coming up this week. We'll show everybody. They'll maybe put us in a Big 12 graphic this week and get on some people's radars.
Hell no.
All right, we're gonna move on to next week. This week is stacked, in my opinion. We're gonna start with the one that starts at noon. USC, a hot team right now, traveling on the road to a team that just got their ass whooped in Illinois. This makes it easy for me. I watched USC last weekend against Michigan State. Their defense looked atrocious. Their offense looks very good. I think they got the momentum right now. I'm going to go USC just because I don't know how Illinois is going to respond after getting their tails kicked in by Indiana.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick USC as well. Just on the sole fact of last week, Illinois, I honestly don't know what happened. I don't see picking them against another decent team in USC. I don't know. They look like they should be unranked. They might finish 6-6 by the performance they put up the other day. So I'm taking USC.
Yeah, I'm also taking USC just on the play between USC's offense and Illinois' defense. I think the Illinois' defense is just going to crumple again, and USC's offense has looked very dominant. I was watching last week. They had some very creative plays, but then they can also just run the ball down your throat, and there's not much you can do about it. So I'm going USC.
I'm going to keep mine short and simple. I'm going USC. Illinois looked like dog shit last week. Not even gonna attempt that.
I'm going to pick Illinois, and you want to know why? It's because I have a sliver of hope that this team's not dead yet. I think they have a great coach in Bielema, and I think this game being at home and having USC travel all the way to them, I think that this is going to be a test for USC. And I know Illinois looked like shit, but I think that if there's ever a time to bounce back, it has to be right now. And I think that they're going to show them what real Big Ten football looks like. I think it's a low-scoring game, and I think they pull it out late.
I mean, I want to believe. I genuinely do want to believe in Illinois because, they didn't seem that bad before that Indiana game. But that Indiana game, they looked awful. And I know they're at home against USC, too, so maybe a little bit of a crowd momentum booster. Too, you play in front of a home crowd, you go prove yourself again. But I think USC is they're, like Benner said, their offense is very dynamic. They look really good against Michigan State. Obviously, Michigan State isn't the greatest team, but Michigan State still was pretty solid. They did show how bad their defense was a little bit because Michigan State did put up a decent amount of points against them.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. One of the two big SC matchups. This one's at 3:30. LSU going on the road to face Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. I've been debating this game because we've seen Ole Miss in the past with these type of matchups when they're at home pull off these upsets, and I really want to pick Ole Miss, but I'm not going to do that. I'm trusting my gut on this. I know I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm going with LSU. I think Garrett Nussmeier and the experience, he's going to get it done. Give me the Tigers. And a close one.
I'm going to take Ole Miss, and I'll give you the reason why. Picked Clemson to win the Natty long time ago. Big mistake. LSU barely beat them, and they looked like a great win. Well, every single week that goes by, that win looks like it's just a dumpster fire win. So I'm going to take Ole Miss by 10 at home.
Yeah, going off that, I got a lot of the same reasons. But you know who's also making his NFL starting debut this weekend?
Jackson
and
Dart.
that is Jackson Dart, baby. Give me the Rebels.
Obviously, LSU is like one of my natty contenders, and Nussmeier is my Heisman pick. I believe in the Tigers. They're going to fucking change this offense around. This is going to be an electric offense. They're going to throw the ball all over this Ole Miss defense. I know they're favored a little bit. I think on ESPN's analytics, I think they got them like by 50%. It's like
Ole Miss is favored by 1.5 in this game.
Yeah, Ole Miss is favored, but I just think LSU is going to figure it out. The offense is going to start clicking this week, and they're going to get a dominant victory. I think by at least 10 points for the Tigers, not for the Rebels.
Man, I think that LSU, since week one, their offense is just very underwhelming. I think that they have yet to really just prove it. They've been relying on their defense, and I think the defense will travel, but I just don't think the offense will be enough. I want to believe in Nussmeier. I do. I think he's a great quarterback, and he can be great in the next level. But I think that this game being at Ole Miss, once again, that SEC home environment, being in Oxford, I think that they're going to take it, man. And I think it's going to be a great day for Ole Miss.
Nonetheless, the other SEC matchup that we'll talk about, Georgia hosting Alabama. I don't know. Something's telling me that Bama's got the number in recent years. But this game being at Georgia, the way I've seen Bama this year, it's been a fucking roller coaster. They've looked god-awful. They've looked decent. But I'm going with the home team. I'm going with Kirby Smart in Georgia to get the job done. I think it's going to be a lot closer than everyone thinks, but I think it's just going to come down to, I think, Georgia's offensive line just absolutely dominating Bama in the trenches. So I'm going with the Dogs over the Crimson Tide.
Going off that, I'm going to take Georgia as well. I do think Bama is getting hated on a little bit. I know they lost to Florida State, but I do think that Florida State's a better team than people give them credit for, and they probably should have been ranked at the start of the year. So I think Bama's one loss against that Florida State team really isn't terrible. But the fact that they're going to be on the road in the Dogs country, I'm taking Georgia.
Taking Dogs, baby.
Is that a Chihuahua?
Bama has done absolutely nothing since DeBoer has been hired, and I don't think they're a bad team necessarily, but I think Georgia's going to take it.
Yeah, I think Georgia proved how good their run game was against Tennessee, especially in that overtime period. They just ran the ball and they scored. So give me the Dogs by at least 17, honestly. I don't think this is a close game. I don't think this is a close game at all. I think the Morgans. The clown show finally gets exposed over at Bama, and all the 5-star recruits are no more for the Tide, and they're going to have to kick DeBoer out of there and go try and beg Nick Saban to come back.
Tide, baby.
High Tide. High Tide.
All right, so Bama still got some 5-star recruits, and I don't think this game's going to be a 17-point game. I think it'll be close and high scoring. I do think that we are sleeping on Gunnar Stockton a little bit. We said he was unproven, but I think he really did prove himself against Tennessee. He looked pretty good. As much as I didn't really believe that would be the case, it is. He looked good, and Georgia's team as a whole looked good. I just need to see their defense step up. I think at home that's going to be, once again, another crazy environment, and I think the Dogs get it done. It's a dog sweep on the podcast.
All right, and the last big one we'll get to is the whiteout. Oregon traveling on the road to Penn State. Obviously, we've seen both these teams. This is Penn State's really first game. They played absolutely nobody. They played the Little Sisters of the Poor and like Villanova and some couple other like FCS teams. But I've watched Oregon against Northwestern. Their offense is really good. The one thing that scares me though is they got absolutely no run defense, and the fact that Penn State's probably got 2 potential All-American halfbacks scares me for Oregon. But if Oregon can contain those guys and make Drew Auer throw the ball, I think that's a big question. But I've been going back and forth. I think either of these teams could win. I'm going to go with the upset. Give me Oregon over Penn State. Big game. James Franklin is showing up once again. He can't get it done. And this will just be the downfall until they get their ass whooped by Ohio State. So give me Oregon, baby, to get it done against Penn State.
All right. I'm going to take Penn State. I think in one of the previous videos I said this is their year to get it done. If they don't, they're never going to get it done under James Franklin, at least. They haven't looked very impressive, like Bros said. I mean, they've won their games, but they haven't played anybody really good, and they haven't been dominating these teams either. I mean, I think it was Villanova. They were only up by like 13 at half or something. So I'm not, John. I don't know what you're doing over there. But yeah, I'm gonna take Penn State, and the fact it's at 7:30. I'm assuming it's a whiteout also.
It is a whiteout.
Yeah,
No, it's a red out.
I think that they'll win this game. Maybe flip the script in Penn State's history for big game James.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I wanted to take Oregon, but at the same time, Penn State's my natty pick for the year, and the whiteout atmosphere. At the beginning of the season, I don't know if it still is, but I'm gonna rock with it because that's who I picked at the start of the year. So I'm gonna take Penn State at home. Night game whiteout. I think they're just going to run all over the Ducks and waste the clock.
Yeah, being at a whiteout and it's finally a night game for Penn State, this is where the crowd is at their best. It's a whiteout night game. I believe in James Franklin. This is like the Harbaugh for Michigan in 2021. They finally got over the hump. I think they're going to finally get over the hump this year. I believe in the Nittany Lions. I believe in We Are Penn State. What?
Sorry.
All right. So, I believe in the Nittany Lions. I think Titty Boy's got a fucking horrible pick over there. They're thinking the Oregon Ducks are going to be able to contain a run game that is going to be dominant. I think Drew Aller is going to be able to throw the ball, though. I think he needs a breakout game at some point. I'm not saying it's this game, but I think he's going to be able to throw the ball a lot more than people think he's able to.
Man, I really, really want to pick against Big Game James because I know his antics. I know that he sucks in these kind of games. I don't know what John's doing, but he knows I'm right. Big Game James is a thing, and it's a shitty thing. But I think that this is the one they're going to get done. I think that Oregon, they lost their best receiver before the season, if you guys knew that, Evan Stewart. That was going to be their best wide receiver, and he was out for the season. And I think that that's going to prove big. I don't think they have enough playmakers. I think that this one will be somewhat high scoring, but I think in the end it'll be Penn State's defense that shows up and gets a stop when they need to, and I think they win in a close one.
All right. Well, all you guys are trusting big game James Franklin over there, who hasn't won shit.
I know.
Hope you guys all know that.
When Titty Boy gets his one loss, we'll all be...
No. Hold on here. I'm sorry to say this, but Dante Moore, my opinion, Dante Moore is better than Drew Aller, what I've seen. Drew
I agree.
Anything impressive. He's not. He's not that good. Their whole offense is those two running backs. If Oregon contains those two running backs, I don't see this game even being close.
I don't think they will, though.
Yeah,
they're not going to.
Bruce, you just said they had a bad run defense, and they just played Northwestern. And you just believed, they're going to magically figure it out against one of the best running teams in the Big Ten.
Big game James, I'll say. In the nation. Big game James. Just wait till I'll say the nation will fold. Okay. Well, obviously, that's all for college football. We're going to move on to last week's NFL slate. I'm going to start this off because, God, Dallas Cowboys fucking blow.
You act like this was new information. You act like this was new information every time.
We talk about this every week.
Yeah. Let's talk about how bad the Cowboys are for the fifth time in a row. Like, my God, they are horrible. We knew this already. They don't play defense. They don't play offense. Now you don't got CD. What are you going to do? Sell the team, Jerry Jones. That's what Bros is asking for.
Worse and worse. Like, we literally let Caleb Williams with his fucking fingernails painted, fucking throw dimes all over the field. Like, he just walks out there. Trayvon Diggs is fucking slipping in the turf, fucking can't even guard a fucking go route. Like, this team's just godright awful. Like, I don't know. That's all I got to say. It's Dallas Cowboys. We're ass. We're going to get absolutely stomped by the Packers, even though they just lost to one of the worst organizations in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns.
Go fuck yourself.
Obviously, we start with that. So you got to be I don't know how you're feeling about your good one. I don't know if you're happy or upset because obviously you probably should tank because you ain't making the playoffs. I'm sorry. You're going to be right with me on going with the Cowboys to Cancun. But, Will Rob, yours.
Okay. I just want to say that The Lions did lose to the Packers week 1. They got absolutely stomped, and the Browns beat them. So I don't know what that means, but it might mean something. We'll see this week because the Browns do play the Lions. And don't sleep on these Browns now. That defense is
Browns are
legit.
not beating the Lions.
Yeah,
I'm sleeping until
Someone
they
clip
wake me
this
up.
shit.
bro, I'm counting sheep.
All right, go ahead. Just wait till the fourth quarter when the score is fucking 13-13.
It's not going to be, though. That's the thing. It's not going to be 14. You know, we're not the Packers. We don't just sit there and play with our food.
No, you're worse than them, though.
You know,
Yeah,
the
we're
last
right.
time we
Wait. Can I just ask, how many points did the Browns defense hold the Ravens to?
Stomped. They scored.
How many
3
points did the
garbage
Browns
touchdowns.
defense hold the Ravens to?
The Flacco threw 2 balls that ended up in the 2-yard line.
It does not fucking matter.
Oh, yeah. All right,
Fucking
keep talking.
right.
We'll see.
Wait,
All
wait,
right.
fucking game
play
on the
that
road.
and then come
All right,
back
let's
and
talk
see
about
if
some
you can
previous
win
games
the
rather than
game.
just.
Here we go. The Steelers escape
Here we
with
go.
another win.
Steelers fan, guys, let's get to my team. Let's get
That's
to my
not
team.
what I was saying, but okay.
Yep. Let's get to the Steelers absolutely escaping over the New England Patriots because the receiver doesn't know how to gain a first down.
Hang on, can I defend
That was
Bender
a
on
good
that?
tackle, dude. Don't even hate.
Yeah, hang on. I'd like to defend Bender because they really didn't escape. They more of just like their defense played great. Their offense was a little mediocre, but sometimes you need defense to win games. Will Rob knows that because that's the only reason why the Browns fucking won this last weekend.
Yep, be the team that you couldn't.
All right, but go ahead, Dave.
Oh, you want a cookie?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even trying to talk about the Steelers originally, but now that we're on the topic, I mean, we forced 5 turnovers and we won by 7. So kind of disappointing in that fact, but it's been good to watch the defense actually play because the first 2 games felt like we didn't have a defense, and for the highest paid defense in the league, we should be able to put up performances like this last one we put up. So that's a step in the right direction. And then, the offense, okay, they did enough to win the game, and they had that, winning drive at the end, so it's good enough to win. And, looking forward to next week, and we're going to win again, so.
Yeah, I'm still sleeping on the Steelers so heavily. They've once again squeak out against a mediocre team, and because the Patriots don't know how to hold on to a football. If I'm a Steelers fan right now, I'm saying thank goodness we have a good defense because our offense is so unbelievably poverty. You give the ball over, you get the ball back 5 times your offense, and you only score 2 touchdowns all game. That is what happens when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. He cannot make plays. He cannot get in the end zone. That's all I got to say.
And obviously, obviously went off with the Lions.
Threw
Absolutely.
up a floater to DK.
I know the score was close.
Calvin
but
Austin
the Lions
dying.
absolutely curb stomped the Ravens in Monday Night Football. Absolutely fucking ran it down their throats. Didn't matter who it was. It could have been Jahmyr Gibbs. It could have been J-Mo. It could have been Dave Montgomery. They weren't fucking stopping the run. So I know you guys got to be happy about this win with the momentum you guys have now. So how are you guys feeling now?
Yeah, honestly, I felt great watching this game. Is a lot back and forth. Defense at the start of the game kind of felt like we were just getting pushed around a lot. Like other times that we've played the Ravens in the past, they were just passing left and right, running up the middle with Derrick Henry on that opening drive. But eventually we started picking it up on defense. 7 total sacks is absolutely absurd on Lamar Jackson. And our offense, dude, unbelievable. 2 90-plus yard drives that end up in touchdowns. If you're doing that every game, you're not going to lose. So it was a great game to watch and a great win for us.
Yeah, I think we hadn't beaten Baltimore since 2005 is what I heard. So very big win, a satisfying win at that. But also just I felt like that was a win to prove ourselves that, we aren't on this, shit level team. Last year wasn't a fluke. We can beat the big teams. And, you're allowed to lose some games in the NFL. That's obviously a part of it. So, before Will Robb says, you lost to the Packers like he has probably 4 times already. It's okay to lose in this league, but you can't just lose continuously. And we have not done that in 2 years. And the offense looked dominant, but the defense looked so promising. It was disciplined defense. Our defense is not this insane defense like the Steelers have, and the Steelers should play like that every week how they did this last week. But our defense played insane. It was disciplined football, No one just kind of was jumping around at Lamar, like MCDC said in his press conference, and it showed. We had 7 sacks. Aiden Hutchinson with a huge punch out on Derrick Henry, which that might have been the funniest crash out I've ever seen Derrick Henry have ever.
Anyone have?
Yeah, and it was on live television. But yeah, no, it was a big win for the Lions, and hopefully they continue it and shit on the fucking Browns.
Yeah, well, obviously these Derrick Henry fumbles are not helping Hayden Bender's fantasy team here at all. So you better fix those very quickly because that's going to be a problem if he keeps doing that. But anyway,
the king is more looking like the pooper scooper.
Hayden, you got anything for this game?
For what game?
The Lions.
Lions Browns.
No, this last one. Lions Ravens.
Oh. Yeah, I picked the Ravens, but I mean the Lions looked phenomenal. I can't lie.
All right, hey,
I don't know. Dan Campbell's having some good play calls, so I'm starting to wonder what Ben Johnson really did for the Lions the last few years. I mean that 4th and 2 in the fourth quarter was gutsy, and then the freaking goal line little fullback
4th and 1.
Fullback handoff to toss to the running back was an awesome play. I've never seen that before. So it looked pretty cool. Also, I mean they look good. That first game slump was shocking to say the least. I did pick the Packers the week 1, but I mean to see the Lions bounce back like they have been, not very surprising. I mean they're a great team. So
yeah, I mean seeing this game, I did pick the Ravens, and I actually made a side bet with somebody on the Ravens. So. Unfortunately, I will be paying $10. Yeah, he made sure to let me know afterwards. But, from the Lions, week 1 they look like shit. And I think the Packers are a good team. But like John said, teams are allowed to lose. They have bad weeks. I'm aware. So we'll see what happens this next week. I'm hoping the Browns have a chance. But, Detroit does look a lot better. Both sides of the ball been doing pretty well. So we'll see if they can keep it going.
Well, so now we're going to move into Slate, what I was talking about. We're actually going to start with that game. Cleveland going to Detroit. I'm keeping this short and simple. Detroit's going to win by fucking 30+. It's just happening.
Oh, my God, dude.
Detroit's offense is going to absolutely dominate. They're going to hold Myles Garrett in check. The Browns' offense is just god-awful to watch. Aiden Hutchinson might have 4 sacks by the time this game's done. So I'm going with the Lions, and it's not going to be close.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions as well. I'm not going to say by 30. I think the Lions are at such a high. They're going to come down just a little bit and, beat the Browns very solidly. But I'm going to say it's more 14 to 17 points and a solid win. It might look scary at halftime, kind of close, but I think they pull away in the second.
I think we're going to absolutely dominate, like Bro said. I think it'd be 20 to 30 points. I just don't see us dropping this game at all. I know the Browns, they say they have a good defense. I know they got a good, solid D-line. But, I mean, we also have one of the best O-lines in the league. So, I don't think they have anybody that can guard every single one of our receivers. They got 1 or 2 good DBs, but we have a whole lot of good receivers and running backs, so I just don't think they can keep up with our talent.
Yeah, I do think that it is actually going to be a lot closer than Bros thinks it is. I think the way the Browns can even have a chance here is if they're able to stuff the run game like they do to all the teams. They suck teams down when they can't run when they do not allow teams to run the ball like they did with the Packers. And that's where their defense shines. They shine in the run game. They shine in stopping the run game. That's why they have Mason Graham and Myles Garrett there. But I think the Lions' offense, just with all their weapons all around, like Gavin was saying, is just going to be too much for them. I think if the Lions can't run the ball, which would be insane to say because our O-line looked dominant against Baltimore, then they'll just throw the ball like crazy over top of them. But I think it'll be a lot closer than what Bro says. Like Bender said, probably maybe like 10 to 17 points. Still a very good and dominant victory, but nothing that's outrageous at all.
All right. So I'm trying to make a choice right here if I want to go for my pride or if I want to go for my record in this podcast. And if I wasn't holding the best record in podcast predictions right now, then I'd probably make a little bet here. It's not a big lead though. It's only one game, so I am going to take the Lions. I know I was talking shit earlier. I think this game is going to be very close. It's not going to be a fucking blowout. It's going to be like 17-14. Okay, it's not going to be a blowout. Fucking Jared Goff can't scramble, and that's when we struggle is against scrambling quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson. I think that we're going to hold them in check. But it's Cleveland sports. They'll fucking make me depressed and lose in a depressing way in the fourth quarter like they always do.
All right. Next game we're going to move on to is this one's an early one, 9:30 in the morning in Ireland. Minnesota versus Pittsburgh. This should be a good game. Obviously what we saw Minnesota's defense do last week against Cincinnati was absolutely diabolical. They were making turnovers left and right like it was nothing. And that was against the Bengals, who have a decent offense. Now you're playing a team that has a decent, maybe offense. Yeah, I'm trusting that defense. So I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings to beat Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Even though they don't have J.J. McCarthy, they got Carson Wentz. They got Jay Jettis. I think Jay Jettis is going to absolutely own Jalen Ramsey. So I'm going with the Vikings because I just think their defense is going to show up in a big way. And they're going to force Aaron Rodgers into a couple of mistakes and send his ass on going slowly into the retirement.
All right, bros. First of all, I think you forgot that Jake Browning was playing instead of Joe Burrow. So what do you mean that don't mean anything? Joe Burrow's like top 3 quarterback. You're comparing to Jake Browning.
No, I'm just saying is the Bengals actually have a decent offense and they forced 5 turnovers.
Jake Browning was playing.
Their offense is still better than yours with Jake Browning.
All right.
So we just don't know ball. So we just do not know fucking ball.
Stop, dude. Just stop. All right.
Yep, Jake Browning is better than fucking everybody on the planet.
He's trying to compare Jake Browning to Joe Burrow right now.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
You didn't you act like Carson Wentz was fucking dotting up the fucking Bengals defense too.
Yeah, it was literally the Vikings defense against the Bengals offense, and they didn't have Burrow. They had Jake Browning, so they absolutely slapped them. Anyway, I'm going to pick the Steelers in a tight one by about 3 points. I could see a little Boswell field goal winning action here in Dublin. I got the Steelers going to 3-1.
Yeah, I also have a close one, but I think it's going to Minnesota. I think if Minnesota can figure out a way to score 3 times, they're winning the game. That Brian Flores, it's going to be a defensive battle. That Steelers defense is very good, but Brian Flores also has one of the best defenses in the league. He's one of the best defensive coaches. Scheming up defenses, different looks. He does very well at blending coverages together. And I know Aaron Rodgers has been in the game for a long time, but I think that dementia is starting to catch up with him, and he's not going to be able to separate those coverages. So I got the Vikings if they can figure out how to score a couple times.
So I like exactly what Bender said, ending it with Boswell field goal to win the game, because that motherfucker's my kicker, and I love it when the Steelers can just barely get in the field goal range and he just starts hitting 50-yard plus bombs to just give them the lead. So I got the Chris Boswell Steelers beating the Minnesota Vikings defense. I'm talking like 18-6 here, guys.
Chris Boswell Steelers.
Yeah, just Chris Boswell. They're going to barely get in the field goal range, and they're just going to just line him up at the fucking center field logo and just start letting him hit bombs down the middle.
We're at least going to score one touchdown.
This is going to be a tight defensive matchup. If you got the Steelers defense this week in fantasy, take them, throw them in the lineup, because they're turning the ball. They're forcing like 6 or 7 turnovers. But I got the Chris Boswell Steelers winning this game. I think there could be maybe 1 touchdown thrown in this entire game, possibly. I genuinely believe that. I think this is going to be a shithole of a 9:30 in the morning game. This is the game that you just entirely oversleep, even though it's at 9:30 in the morning. And you look at your phone, you go, Holy shit, they're fucking doing it, and you just don't even turn it on still.
Thank goodness I'll be in church during this game so I can actually do something important with my life instead of watching that poverty football game.
All right, I'm picking the Browns instead.
You serious?
Bros, do you hear that? Browns. He took.
I heard it.
I'm going back to the Lions. I'm joking.
No. It's not how bullshit works here.
I'll take anybody who plays the Cowboys. Anybody who's playing the Cowboys. Doesn't matter.
All right, let me make my pick here. Obviously, being a Browns fan, I hate the Steelers, but the Vikings. I mean, they're not surprising me. They're not a wow factor. Steelers aren't good, but the Vikings aren't either. I mean, they're not losing much without having McCarthy, but it's fine. I think that the Steelers are going to win in a close one. Boswell, he's going to be booting them things. Probably have about 5 field goals. Final score will probably be like 15-7 or something. It'll be a real boring game. I probably won't watch, but yeah, I got the Steelers.
This Steelers team is like the equivalent to the 2018 Detroit Lions when we had Matt Prater and he just carried us through every single game.
Dude, stop.
Ever.
Oh, my God.
I'd like to say my pick was not to like offend Bender. It was just to say that I know
that's
going to
offensive.
happen.
Their kicker is leading their team to victory. That is offensive.
Yeah.
That's
what they do.
He didn't make a
bad
single
their
field goal
offense is.
last week. He didn't
That's
win
how
us the
they're
game
bad
at all
their
last week.
Yeah, he's due for a big field goal game. They got to have at least like 1 or 2 every year. So he's due, and I think it's this 9:30 in the morning. They're on a soccer field too, aren't they? So he's got to be good. He's got to be, dude. He might set the NFL record for the most field goals made in a game, or he'll set the NFL the length one. He'll hit a 67 plus. I believe, man.
All right.
We're gonna do a couple more games. This one's interesting. Eagles against the Bucks. Obviously, we just learned that Mike Evans is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks with another hamstring injury. My God, what is wrong with his hamstring? I feel like every year something is wrong with that goddamn hamstring. And now they only have to next Luka. And now Chris Godwin may be coming back. We don't know. But I'm going to take one of the most boring offenses to watch in the National Football League. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles just because they're the more healthier team. And I like their defense. I'm going with the Eagles.
All right, I'm going to stay on the train of I don't think the Eagles are that good, and they should be 2-1, not 3-0. John, what are you doing over there? Jesus. I'm going to take the Bucks. I don't know. I know the Eagles just beat the Rams, but the Rams should have won that game. It was really just a debacle choke. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's in Tampa Bay, so I'm going to go with the Bucks in a close one.
I think I would have probably taken the Bucks here if not for that Mike Evans injury. And my fantasy team desperately needs the Eagles to play good every single week. So I will be taking the Eagles. I know Ibuka has been playing really good. I just don't know if him and Baker are going to be able to throw the ball back and forth to each other every single play against this Eagles defense. So I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm very high on the Buccaneers. I think they'll be a playoff team. I think they can make it far, but the loss of Mike Evans. If Chris Godwin was like for sure coming back, I'd take him even maybe 2.
Chris Godwin's questionable. Even then, he might not get used as much. And Emeka Egbuka does look amazing. He looks like he literally fits into that offense incredibly well. Fuck off. But I just don't see the Buccaneers doing it. They have home field advantage and everything, but the Eagles they looked like an insanely dominant team in that second half against the Rams. They honestly deserved to pull that out. They deserved the block field goal at the end. I don't think they had to run it back, but, big man touchdown's a big man touchdown. So, yeah, I got the Eagles honestly, I'd say by 3 here. I genuinely mean by 3.
All right. I think I'm going to take the Bucks here. This is my real sleeper team going into the season, and I've been really impressed with them, especially Baker, especially being a Browns fan, seeing him just look so good. I mean, it's cool to see, but, man, I wish we still fucking had him. He's just been real impressive, just winning drive after winning drive every week so far. And I think that they're going to pull up another close one at home, and I think Ibuka is going to have another big game. Give me the Bucks.
Okay. Two more we get to. This one's the surprising one. A team we did not expect to start this good. It's the Indianapolis Colts. They're going on the road to the Rams. The Rams, they should be 3-0 as well, if they could block for a fucking field goal. But obviously they couldn't, so they're now 2-1. The Colts have been the most surprised team of this year. Daniel Jones has played absolutely perfect football. Jonathan Taylor's come back to form. But do I think they're going to stay undefeated after this week? No. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams to end the undefeated start for the Colts. I think the Rams defense is going to get to Daniel Jones a little bit, so I trust Stafford to bounce back. I'm going with the Rams in a close one against Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Rams also. The Colts start has been shocking, but I think this is really the best team that they've played so far in the Rams, who, like Will said, they should be 3-0.
They beat Denver, so Denver's pretty good.
I mean, I'd take LA over Denver 9 times out of 10, but I think LA wins and just beats the Colts for their first loss. Although I did see a stat that the last time the Colts started 3-0, I think they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. So if that's true, watch out. But I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, I feel like I've been following everybody's picks this week. So this one I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna go pick the Colts to win this one. I think they've been impressive. So we're gonna ride with it and see what happens. I think they can maybe go in and upset the Rams here. I think everybody's kind of expecting this Rams team. They are a very good football team. I think everybody's expecting them to come beat the Colts, but I think the Colts are going to continue their streak through this week and upset the Rams.
Well, I thought I was going to be the one taking the Colts, but yeah, I'm going to take the Colts. I believe in Danny Dimes right now. Danny Dimes has found a new life passion of being the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, not the New York Football Giants. And they look good. Especially with Tyler Warren, they got Michael Pittman. They have a very solid receiving core, and the run game looks good. If Jonathan Taylor can keep up what he's been doing, and they can continue to be able to run the ball like they've been able to do, they are going to go. I would say they can possibly start 5-0. Obviously, this week is 4-0, hopefully, but they have a chance to go 5-0 and continue the streak as long as they can. But yeah, I got them upsetting the Rams. The Rams look good, but they stalled out at the end in that second half of that Eagles game. So even though they're at home, it's SoFi Stadium. Everyone in LA roots for a different team pretty much, so it doesn't really count as home field advantage. So I got the Colts in a tight one.
All right. I think that Matt Stafford's not going to let his team lose another game like they lost last week. They should have had it, and the Eagles did make a good comeback, but I think the Rams they can't go out sad again. I think the Colts streak will end here. I'm very impressed with what the Colts have been able to do so far, and I'm liking what Jonathan Taylor is doing because I have him in one of my leagues. So hopefully he keeps it up, and hopefully this game's high scoring. But I do got the Rams winning.
All right. Well, the last one we're gonna get to. Surprising starts for both these teams. Ravens 1-2 traveling to Kansas City, who are also 1-2. The only reason the Chiefs are 1-2 because they played the Giants. The Giants are absolutely horrible. So that's the only reason they got to win. And, of course, this game's on CBS. You know that Tony Romo Glazen's about to be insane. But
Look at that, Jim. Look at that, Jim.
Regards to that fact, I think this is going to be a very good game. It's always good when these two quarterbacks match up. What team is going 1-3? I think the team that's going to win this game is the Baltimore Ravens. And I think Derrick Henry is going to absolutely stomp on this Chiefs defense. And I just don't think the Chiefs are good. I could see them potentially finishing third in the AFC West. With this offense right now, it just looks awful. Mahomes, the only guy he's got to throw consistently is fucking Juju Smith-Schuster, whose prime was back with the Steelers in, 2018, 2017? I'm going with the Ravens. We're going to bounce back after that absolute horrible defensive performance. And I think they could win this game by more than 7 points.
I'm going to take the Ravens as well. Seeing either one of these teams going 1-3 is awesome, since I don't like the Ravens as a Steelers fan, and I think everybody in here does not like the Chiefs, so that's always a good look. But yeah, like Bros was saying, the Chiefs offense is not looking good. The fact that you got Travis Kelce and Andy Reid just like yelling at each other on the sideline against the New York Giants is not a good sign. I don't know what's going on over there. So I'd be concerned if I was a Chiefs fan. And I know the Ravens are 1-2, but I mean they just got beat by a really good Lions team, and then they got beat by basically Superman Josh Allen, so they could be 3-0 as well. So, but yeah, I see the Chiefs dropping to 1-3, and the Ravens bouncing back because they're way better than the Chiefs in my opinion.
Yeah, Chiefs. I said this at the beginning of the year in one of our first podcasts. I said they could end up third in the division. I think they're losing again this week to the Ravens. The Ravens are 1-2, but they've lost to two really good football teams. I don't think they're dropping. I don't think they're dropping another one after last week's game. I think Derrick Henry's definitely going to come in very mad. I don't think he's going to drop another fumble this week after he's dropped one in every game so far. I don't know if he's going to absolutely destroy the Chiefs defense like Bros was saying, but I think Lamar might take over this game, and I think the Ravens are going to pull this one out.
Yeah, even though it's in Arrowhead, there's no more cheese for Mahomes anymore. No more cheese. The cheese is gone. There's no more luck. Travis Kelce's arguing about wedding venues with fucking Andy Reid on the sideline for his, for Taylor Swift when they get married. This Chiefs team is awful. I'm so happy they are awful. Whenever they go on CBS now, they're like the fucking Cowboys. Whenever they go on Fox, you just have to suffer through that game and just watch them get their dick kicked in, hopefully. And, give me the Ravens by like 20 at least. I think Derrick Henry rushes for 150.
Wow.
Zay Flowers is just all over the field. Nobody wants to watch America's team, and no one wants to watch the fucking Chiefs shit come. Like, oh my God, I do not want to watch these fucking shit teams that people think are the greatest team of all time. Get the Cowboys off of fucking 4 o'clock games. Get the Chiefs off of 4 o'clock games. Let me go watch the Arizona Cardinals in some bullshit game at this point. I do not want to watch these two teams, especially after Cowboys just got their shit kicked in, and now the fucking Chiefs hopefully get their shit kicked in, and then we can just finally be rid of the fucking Chiefs and Cowboys being on the primetime games.
You know what? I like everything you're saying there. I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I like the fire.
I hate it. I literally hate it.
Yeah. I don't think the Cowboys will ever be gone, unfortunately. I mean, they'll be there. They'll always be ass, but they'll probably always...
Where's this team? America.
I can't count to 5.
And the Chiefs, man, I don't like them either. I did think they'd be better than they have been, but, man, the Chargers have been surprising me so far. That's kind of been crazy to see, but we'll see if that lasts. I think that I am going to pick the Ravens. I think that Henry's going to have a big game like we all expect. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think the black magic has finally run out in Arrowhead. And I think that the Chiefs are going to be 1-3. And it's going to be something that we're all going to love to see. I probably might listen to this game on mute if I watch it all because I don't want to hear the glaze. Either that or I might not watch it all.
Look at that, Jim. Jim, look at that pass by Mahomes. Wow, Jim. Wow, Jim. What do you think of that one, Jim?
Wow, a clean sweep of that game, surprisingly.
Yeah, we should do the Cowboys game.
One final topic I want to get on to. Does anyone have anything to add about maybe some teams we didn't cover? College football. I know Gavin's Cincinnati, even though they haven't played nobody.
Cincinnati Bearcats.
I was going to say Seahawks-Cardinals game. Little 2-1 action for both of them. Big division game. I think both teams are actually being slept on a little bit. Seahawks look decent, and then actually the Cardinals started off better than I thought. I thought, they'd probably be like 0-5 to start the year because they're trash, but maybe Bros was right about Kyler Murray a little bit.
Hell no.
Yep. Trey McBride, baby.
I'm taking Seattle all day in that game.
Yeah.
I just saw a highlight of Marvin Harrison Jr. dropping a wide open touchdown pass last week, and I haven't seen anything bad really coming out of Seattle at all. So I got Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle looked dominant against New Orleans. I would say it's New Orleans, but they looked really good. And Marvin Harrison is on my fantasy team, and I am genuinely going to bench him if I'm debating it right now because that Seattle secondary is very good. And I watched that was not only the one he did not just drop that one pass that was wide open. He dropped I think one or two more along with that one where it hit him in the hands and it drops down in front of him and you could see him frustrated. Obviously I hope he fixes that. Hopefully I can allow him to stay in the lineup, but right now that's just unacceptable, especially from a guy who's, coming out of college, they said he was this big talent and he just has not lived up to the hype yet, and he's in year 2 or 3. Is it year 2?
2.
2, yeah. I mean, obviously it's only, it's the beginning and everything, but I mean, still, Emeka Egbuka looks amazing over there in that Buccaneers offense, and I mean, I think this but Arizona offense is built for him and is built to at least take some shots with him, and he just can't even, catch these, middle of the field, 10-yard in routes.
Yeah, I think that the receiver on the other side for the Seahawks, JSN, has looked incredible so far. I think that he is establishing himself as a very high-caliber receiver in this league, and I think that he's only going to get better. I think for Marv, though, I think they do need to target him more. I think that he just needs to see some get in his hands, and then he'll get going a little bit. But it has been disappointing to see him not really live to the hype so far. We'll see how that goes. I am going to take the Seahawks in this game. And also, real quick, I want to go back to college football. My natty pick, the Buckeyes of Ohio State, have a tough one this week at Washington. I wouldn't be surprised if this one's close. I'm glad it's not at night because that would make it an even tougher environment. But I think this one will definitely be close. I got Ohio State, though.
Going to the Seahawks game, so obviously everyone's picked the Seahawks. And
Cardinals, baby.
The smart pick here. But hear me out. I think this is the Trey McBride game right here. He's, I believe, the best tight end in all the NFL so far this season. I think Marvin Harrison's due for a bounce-back game. I like what Kyler Murray's doing right now. They should have won last week, but their defense absolutely sold against fucking Mac Jones and the 49ers. But, yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals. It's a home game for them, night game. I'm going with Arizona. They're on a good roll right now. I like what they have, and we'll see how it works. But, yeah, speaking of that Washington game, yeah.
First, I got to pick the Cardinals. I haven't taken a pick winner yet. I'm taking the Cardinals.
Oh, fuck, my bad.
No, you're good. I'm taking the Cardinals, though. Keep going.
Good job, Goon.
All right. Well, I'm speaking about the Ohio State-Washington game. This game, it does scare me a little bit. Washington's kind of an underrated good team in the Big Ten. But do I think we're gonna? Do I really think we're gonna lose? Absolutely fucking not. Julian Sand's gonna come out there. If you want to win, just throw it to number 4. Is all I'll say. We're gonna win this game. I'm not worried. But yeah.
You just said you were worried,
So which one is it? Which one is it? Here we go. Let's contradict ourselves on the air.
Just throw it to number 4, and all your problems are solved.
All right, I don't think these guys need to speak about this. I think there's one more subject that we all really need to talk about.
Whoa, I did want to speak about this game.
What the hell do you have to say? What the hell do you have to say?
Give me the fucking Huskies! Let's go Huskies, baby! I got faith in that crowd. I got faith in the Huskies.
Let me say something.
Let him just let him stay in the game a little bit, and I'm just gonna watch those Huskies just slowly air out the Buckeyes. And they're going to die right there.
That's a horrible take.
Shut up, titty boy. Go Goon.
Okay. Well, there's just one more thing we got to discuss. And it's a big headline in the sports industry world right now. How about those Detroit Tigers? My fucking God. They are absolutely awful.
Yeah, that is what they're like, John. They're doing that right now.
7 or 8 in a row right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just like that.
7, yeah. You get swept by Cleveland at home. You get swept by the Braves at home. And now you're on the verge of getting swept by Cleveland again. And you had Skubal pitching. The best pitcher in the world. And you still couldn't beat him. Fucking twice. You still couldn't get it done. Because your bullpen is god awful. I mean, this could have been your guys' year. You had the trade deadline to do it, but your best acquisition was fucking Charlie Morton. Exactly. He's fucking dog shit. Doesn't matter. The point is, this
Your
is one of the
pronunciation
worst
is
classes
dog shit.
I've ever seen. And if they don't make the playoffs, my God, AJ Hinch should get his fat ass the fuck out of there. He should be fired. Scott Harris should be gone the fuck. And this is just bad. I mean, when you have Scuba on the mound twice against division rivals and you can't win either of them, man, I'm no wonder why he's going to lead you guys. But anyways, yeah. As a
I'll
Cleveland
lead
fan,
off with this.
yeah,
Since Titty Boy just thinks that, we didn't want to do anything at the deadline. Have you ever heard of the man named Chris Ilitch who doesn't want to spend fucking money for the Detroit anything?
we have the same problem.
You didn't fucking mention him. You just talked about the manager and the GM. Like, dude, I'm sorry, but Chris Ilitch is the reason why the Wings aren't good right now. He's the reason why the Tigers aren't good. He's the reason why we won't spend any money. Let alone the Guardians don't spend any money either. They just somehow manage to get farm gods out of their fucking ass every fucking time. I mean, I don't know how many fucking people I've just never heard of until they magically end up on the Guardians and they just magically make them look good. Credit to Stephen Vogt there for being a great manager, but I mean, it's Chris Ilitch. It's literally not fucking AJ Hinch's fault at all. We're literally just not wanting to spend money. Obviously, the Wings are in a different spot because they have a salary cap, so they're allowed to spend that much money. And, Chris Ilitch doesn't have to empty his pockets like he feels he has to for the Tigers. And I believe in Stevie Y over there in Detroit, and I know he's got something cooking, and we're going to build a dynasty over there in the Wings. But, I mean, not to get off topic, but, bro, the Tigers we don't want to spend money. It's what we do. We're going to still make the playoffs. We'll be fine, I think. We're going to just have we're going to need one of them team player-led meetings over there and, get our head out of our asses and actually try and fucking hit the ball. I mean, that's just the worst part about it is we're just not hitting the ball. And even when we do hit the ball, we just don't want to play defense. But, yeah, it's disappointing to see, but, I mean, it is what it is. They've done it to themselves. I mean, it's been since the All-Star break since we've looked like this.
Gavin, you want to go?
Gavin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll go next. Absolutely one of the worst sells in any sports I've ever seen in my life.
Not to interrupt, but the record was 14.5, so you guys broke that shit by a game. It was 15.5.
Yeah. So we were in first place pretty much all year. Till, like John said, we hit the All-Star break. We get a bunch of guys in the All-Star game. Couldn't hit in the All-Star game. Then we come out of the All-Star game and nobody can hit on our team. And like they've said also, we have no other pitchers besides Scooble. So
Flaherty's not bad.
Flaherty sucks.
Flaherty didn't.
Flaherty's terrible.
Yeah.
And when we can't hit behind him, he's even worse. I think I've given up all hope on the Tigers winning anything important this year. Probably the next few years, honestly, because we had nobody important on our team other than Scooble, who will probably leave pretty soon. Which I don't even blame him at this point. Like, go get paid a bunch of money and go win games somewhere else. I think we should just sell the entire franchise. Just get rid of the Detroit Tigers all in general. We're just like a worthless program at this point. Can't get anything done, can't ever win anything, and don't have any money well, we do have money, we just don't spend it. But yeah, and just get rid of us all in general and stop the misery of all the Detroit sports fans who have suffered for so long.
Yeah, bouncing off that, this is insane to see. I really don't think that the problem this season is the money aspect of it all. I think at the deadline they didn't really do much, obviously, and they've just sucked. It's not going to be the middle of the season problem of not spending money. They have the best record in the entire MLB, and they've been choking it away. They have been choking it away. That has not anything to do with how much money they've spent. They had the fucking talent, and it's just not fucking produced in the second half of the year. It's been terrible to watch. As just a fan of any sport, it's just a terrible collapse. And man, it's been Scooble and then everyone else. That's their only bright spot in the entire roster now. I mean, Riley Green is a strikeout merchant. This dude is just, unreal. He'll hit a few home runs and RBIs, but my God, just the strikeout after strikeout. It's funny. It sounded like I'm a Tigers fan right now, but I'm a Guards fan. It's just hilarious seeing these dudes lose game after game after game. 15 and a half just gone, just like that. And unreal. I said this was possible. Even last week, they said it wasn't going to happen, and here we fucking are. And it's happening right in front of their eyes. How many losses has it been? 11 out of 12? And Cleveland, their offense has been terrible. Cleveland looked dead in the water. There was a period in time where I didn't even watch this team because they were that fucking bad. And they're coming out of the fucking depths of hell to come out of nowhere. You want to call it black magic, you want to call it small ball, you want to call it guards ball, whatever it is, they're doing it. And they've made a crazy comeback. Pitching has been unreal. They scrape runs across, and their farm system has been great. They have the same problem with Dolan, and still not spending any money, but their players have just been better, and it's been great to see. And I think that they have a chance to surprise some people. Hopefully, they can make a run.
Quick.
Yeah,
go ahead, Gavin.
I'll say this quick. I probably watched more baseball this season than I have ever in my life. Tigers baseball, because we were actually good, and it was exciting to watch. And then we hit All-Star break, and it was the most boring sport I've ever watched in my life. All of a sudden, because we forgot how to play the game. And then once college football hit and NFL, I haven't even watched a baseball game until today, and it was just depressing. Just came off a nice, fun weekend of all my sports teams winning. Even my fantasy team won, which never happens. And then I watched the piss poor Tigers play again today, and it just sets me in a depressing mood going into the weekend. Don't know what I was expecting going into the game today, but it's bad, and I'm currently done with the team.
Quick question: do we think the sweep happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep.
Also, real quick before we're off this topic, I just want to say prayers up for David Fry, and that pitch by Skubal. Well, it wasn't a great pitch; it was just unlucky. I ain't got no hatred towards Skubal because of that. It's not his fault, but it's also not Fry's fault. It's just super unlucky. Given the situation, you never want to see that happen. But
it did actually tip off his bat. They did.
It did not. I saw the slow mo. It hit him straight in the face. It did not fucking
They've
hit him.
both broadcasts.
I know you saw the fucking Tigers broadcast.
It wasn't just the Tigers one.
Off the bat.
It was both broadcasts. Go ask my own mother, who says it tipped off the bat.
It did not hit off the bat.
Your own fan says that it tipped off the bat. It did.
No, it did not.
Look, it happens, and it's okay. It tips off the bat. But it actually tipped off the bat.
I know you've been waiting to say that bullshit, but it's not fucking true. So
go make sure you show me the slow mo of it not hitting
I'll send it to you right after this.
All right. Either way,
let me say something.
Big wild card race right now. All right, go ahead, Aiden. Before I say it, go ahead, Aiden.
All right. I don't watch baseball, but just as an outsider who knows a little bit of the stuff that's been going on, I think it was last episode or the one before, so at least a week or two ago, the Tigers fans, especially John, was the most confident person I've ever heard in my life. And now for him to say that the team's been playing bad because of money the last few weeks is just completely out of pocket. He's just very disappointed. So I would like to just throw that out there because he's been capping the last 10 minutes. Gavin, he's been disappointed for a while, so I'm not going to put too much on him. He's been kind of there. But John, man, you were full on this team 2 weeks ago. Now it's just money all of a sudden. I don't believe that. That's just
because they looked good against the Yankees.
They've been playing bad recently.
And then pitching comes in handy.
They're 1-12 since doing the Trump. They're 1-12.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like you said, teams can play bad. You said the same thing about football. They're playing.
I did. You act like I didn't say that the Tigers couldn't play bad.
They're just in a bad streak, so I'm just putting that out there because I don't watch it. I just hear about it a little bit here and there, so I'm just saying that, man, that's just bad, especially for how high you guys were 2 weeks ago on them. So, yeah, they need to pick something up.
Also, big important for the wild card race. The Astros are currently down 4-0 the Athletics, so that helps the Tigers out a little bit right now as regards to ahead in the game. It helps actually both teams because if Cleveland wins tomorrow, their magic number's down from 3-1, and they just beat Texas once. My God, Cleveland's going to go into a frenzy. But does anyone else have anything to add? Hayden, you got anything to add about college, NFL?
No, not really. What about the PGA Tour.
Anybody else got
Do anything about
Brendan
that?
Sorsby for 4 touchdown passes and rushing.
Ryder Cup this weekend. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Shit, that's this weekend.
Little Ryder Cup action. Yeah.
Ryder Cup.
Sure.
Are we
I don't know
good?
if you guys been
Yep,
listening
that's
to
it.
the news, but they're trying to get the winning side to get money now. So I don't know if they're going to do that, but that'd be very disappointing.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's been like 200
Disappointing,
years
the
or
hell?
something. It's been like a 200-year streak of just a friendly match of the winning
It's big
side
on
doesn't get
tradition.
money. So if they give the winning team money, that's just going to ruin the whole dynamic of the Ryder Cup, which is completely different than any other event out there. So
Okay.
That's fair.
All right, is everyone good?
Yep.
All right, well, that'll conclude it for this episode's podcast. We'll see how everyone's takes go. Obviously, I think someone's going to have a bad one. It's probably going to be me or Hayden, probably one of the two.
oh my god,
But
Probably
either
Hayden.
way, that'll be
My
it for this
pick's been
episode,
fine.
and we'll see you for the next one. All right, we'll see. See y'all for the next one.
so yeah.